Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And one of the things I always talk about in this channel is that how, like, in almost everything in society, we don't plan and prepare, right? Like, think about driving a car, okay? So when we drive a car, we actually take a few lessons and have an instructor to help us to drive our car. We get a learner's permit usually, and then, we're off to the races, right? But in everything else in life, especially finances, it's like a band-aid solution where you crash your car and then you should learn how to solve it, right? But that's not how you should optimally learn how to navigate your life. But this is just a New York Times article that I'm going to bring up from last year, and you can kind of see the attitude about how you as a student are viewed upon by the educational system and also, just society in general, right? And so there was an article in the New York Times from 2023 that talked about the 6 ways you can still get your student debt canceled. And I think there was a Supreme Court ruling that decided that we're not going to cancel student debt. I don't know what's going on currently, but because this is from 2023, but it suggested that you taking yourself out of this life is one of the 6 ways you can get your student debt canceled. It's funny, right? Well, it's not because, you don't want to do that. So, basically, there was a debt forgiveness program in 2023, got struck down by the Supreme Court. I think they still had a form of it kind of passed for like public service workers. And then within an hour, the New York Times published an article, 6 ways you can still cancel your student loan debt. And then one of the options proposed by the Times was this, right? I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get this video flagged, but it's kind of, I don't want to say funny, maybe like tone deaf of just the plight of the people in this country. And it's like, you know what the best way to not get into student loan debt is? Don't go to college. You know what I mean? Like, or go to community college. But that's like the best way. But the system doesn't want that because if you just type in Google the number one asset of the federal government, it's student loans. So why would the federal government like do what's against its best interest? It's not. So they're going to talk big most of the time. And if they're going to cancel the debt, it's my opinion that they're just going to cancel it for a small fraction of people who do qualify. I think Dave Ramsey talks about this all the time about like the number of people who actually get their student loans forgiven through those government programs is unusually low, like very, very low, even though they love to advertise it, right? And so again, this is a very tone deaf situation. I definitely don't recommend this. And then what happened was that, like, I think after people complained, they actually like redid the article and scrubbed it. And let's see um where it is. Actually, do have a screenshot. I actually found a screenshot in Twitter, but it says this is not something that most people would choose as a solution to their debt burden. Still, if you're a young adult wondering about the federal plus loans your relatives took out to pay for your education, you may be wondering whether the debt dies with you in person or people take it on. It does. The federal government will not make a claim on their estate, and you will not inherit the balance. Bam! Right here. I don't know how long afterwards, but they redid that to not include this just because people were like shocked that they were this tone deaf. But the thing is that again, pre-plan and prepare, and don't just do things in your life just because some adult told you to, right? That's kind of like the mistake that us as a generation, starting from the millennials, had to face when we were all pressured to go to college, and then we just got into a lot of debt, and even if we get that so-called coveted six-figure job, we're still broke. Now, luckily, we do have tools like Velocity Banking to help us pay off that student loan debt. But you know what's even better than getting into student loan debt? Not just not getting into any at all, right? That's like the best thing ever. In fact, like I think you could, as a young 18-year-old, you could just start a business, do all the paperwork legit, and if you get like a business loan or business credit, and you know, you actually do things the right way and your business fails and you could be probably like $100,000 in debt. And again, not legal advice. Talk to a lawyer, an actual bankruptcy attorney or counselor. But this is what I heard. You could probably do everything right in the paperwork terms and still have a failed business and declare bankruptcy, and supposedly you'll be scot free. That's what I heard, right? But with the student loan, you can never get rid of that in bankruptcy, right? And that's why they're suggesting this. It's not funny, but it's like it's almost like one of those like TV show type of things where it's like, are you serious? And you feel like sometimes you're in this parody world that ain't real. And they wrote this in the New York Times. All right, well, this is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. If you're interested in joining our group, you can go ahead and click the Google form link below, and we'll talk about things like velocity banking, buying real estate, financial literacy, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Or you could just hear me talk about whatever you want once a week. Anyways, all right, have a great day, everybody, and we'll speak on the next video.